anticipated.
Since both parties are present,
hey,
I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Lenny clearly reveals the details
Thank
of the
you,
magic
Mr.
trick.
Lenny. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Lenny is clearly lying. There is no
She's
way
doing the Makoto point!
time if you were
No,
to
you're wrong!
and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, this
And
is
if
so
I may
funny.
ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
Oh, what about the
I
bomb?
see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh?
Hey,
Unless the box,
hang on. Something's
unless
not
the
right
box
here.
was soundproof. How could Lenny not know about that sound? Oh, I don't know what that means, but
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse
the
in the
crowd's
blink of an
opinion.
eye.
Oh, the crowd's opinion. Oh,
Of course.
yeah.
Aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth? The House of the Hearth?
They're Fatui? Oh,
That's irrelevant.
I believe so.
Our
It weighs
identities
the
have nothing
crowd's
to do with what happened.
opinion in the grand machine thingy. They also pass judgment. Okay.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute.
Everything. She sounds like.
first
Now that I think about it, she sounds like Lila from Miraculous
I'm sure
Ladybug.
there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Hold on, I wanna. Wait. Farina Genshin Impact. Voice actress. It's not same girl. They sound so familiar though.
Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lenny has concealed his identity, this could all have been a setup beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with other house representatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now?
Please answer my question, Mr. Lenny.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor. I know you're
Watching
angry
this scene
and
with
reasonably
Fancy in my
so.
ear is a little
Please,
hilarious.
let me explain.
Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
No lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
What did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
Oh?
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought.
Perspective.
Oh, she's doing the Makoto thing. Yeah! Based on the opposition's account of events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with— oh, this is so Danganranpa. This is so Danganranpa. Use your refutations to convince the audience to obtain more support from the people. The oratrice will display some shifts clearly. When you find and refute an incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and unveil the truth. This is so Danganronpa.
As the countdown began,
This is so Danganronpa!
when the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
This is so Danganronpa.
He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed.
Oh, that's what she thinks happened.
So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
The loud sound was from— there's a loophole there. Linny claims he headed to the orchard, did not witness. There we go.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Was Linny really in the tunnel at the time? Okay. There you go.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Okay. Oh, so I'm doing the order. Okay. There. Okay, there
Linny
you go.
did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
There you go. My Danganronpa case.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel.
Oh.
But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored.
Okay.
Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room.
An empty
Since he
room.
felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Yeah.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
True. I didn't do this because ain't nobody got time. That's so real. It's gotta be Cowell.
right? Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowl, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowl did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
I don't know, man.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. No one entered or left the
Oh.
It would have been tough for both people to
Okay, I get it. What? Wait, you're wrong! Right? That's what he says. No, that's wrong! I'm Makoto Naegi.
Lenny was not.
Yo! Yo!
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped.
Present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Girl, what? Okay. Her turn!
Did not need to take part in the
Danganranpa
decision of the young woman at all.
Danganranpa core.
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
My queen.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Liddy.
Dance,
if
smooth
you would be
operator,
so
hit
kind.
your mark. I'm getting
What
loco.
in the world?
There she is.
Sorry for the interruption.
What? How?
Isn't that Halsey?
Isn't that
The
Halsey?
whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all.
Ginny, you need to do a cooking
Be
stream
clear,
now?
I'm only here because this
Not
instance
now.
was a bit of a test.
I'm getting
Firstly,
loco.
my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Lillian from
I heard that
Mondstadt.
Lenny's show was going to be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there.
Cook
And
up some
I'd
lasagna
never
for
been caught
chat.
before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Oh goodness, it's my turn. Lenny entered the tunnel after the beginning of the countdown. Afterwards, he used the ventilation shaft to leave the tunnel and did not participate in the dissolving of the young woman. Correct. Cal plans to use... Okay, this is a loophole for sure. A rope to the falling... I'm really bad at this. Okay, thank you.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily-Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Halsey was...
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lily-Ann and Cowl.
Lenny knocked Cal out, then... What did Halsey do? It's fine. Whatever.
Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left,
So
so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
KK, can't
At
wait
this
till
point,
the bite
all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Can't wait.
The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowl, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Victory for Ace Detective Paimon!
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not celebrate just
Next,
yet.
I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know.
I'll tell you everything I know.
I
Our
will
boss
too.
discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
What? He turned into water. That was a lot. That was quite a bit. I think I'm gonna end it here. Y'all. Let's see who's streaming. Let's see if any of my mutuals are streaming today.